Here's what I crocheted in December 2023. Hi there, I'm Cilla from Cilla Crochets, and I'm here to cheer you on throughout your own crochet journey, no matter what stage you're at. So today I wanted to give you a bit of a behind the scenes look at what I made in December 2023. So that's everything from crochet designs to pattern releases to personal passion projects, and even a gift thrown in there as well. So the idea is that you'll walk away from watching this video with some inspiration, whether that's a free pattern that you want to go and try, a type of yarn that you want to buy and try out, an accessory, or maybe just an idea of something I've done that inspires you to crochet. That is my aim with showing you these projects. It's not me showing off to be like, ooh, look at all these amazing things I've made. That is not the aim of the game. The aim is that you'll find something that inspires you to then go and crochet. That is what I hope you get out of this video. So fingers crossed, and if you do, please let me know in the comments. Technically, I worked on 6 projects in December, but I'm going to condense them down to 4. The first project was 3 crochet patterns that I designed and released. The second project was an ebook that I made. The third was a gift I made for someone. And the fourth thing was my WIP, or work in progress. So let's get started. Project 1. Project 1 was the 3 Christmas ornaments that I designed and released as free crochet patterns on my website. This is where you can find them. But anyway, I started with this one. It is a simple bauble. I wanted to make a set of baubles that were essentially really easy to crochet, quick to make because everyone's really busy at this time of year. So after making the first one, I didn't really know what to make. So I went on Google, I did a bit of a Google image search, and I came across this photo here. So this photo is essentially what inspired what was my bauble collection. So I made 3 different shapes. This is the standard bauble, or like a sphere bauble. Then I have the lantern shaped bauble. And I also have a nut-shaped bauble, which you can see here, but unfortunately, I don't know where it is because our little kitten, Burton, climbed up the Christmas tree and has taken it as, you know, a toy and hidden it somewhere around the house. I don't know where it is. But anyway, I made 3 baubles. There's a photo of the 3 together. They do look really nice. They're really quick to make, as I said, and the beauty of them is that they could be customized. So you could change the colors of them. You could do nice embroidery on them. Really easy to make it your own, but a really simple pattern. The yarn I used to make them is Rico Design Rikarumi DK. It's 100% cotton. So I quite like using cotton for things like this because it's quite sturdy, which is what you want. You don't really want it to be all squidgy, which I find acrylic yarn is a bit softer. I use a 2.5 millimeter, and that's what's written on the patterns. However, if you're in the US, I know that 2.5 millimeter isn't a common crochet hook size for you, so you can use a 2.75 millimeter hook as a substitute. Lastly, when it comes to crochet designing, I get all my patterns tested by pattern testers. So I wanted to show you some photos of their makes of the baubles. I've just chosen a couple here that I'm going to put up. But it just shows you some of the different colours and, you know, to give you some ideas of what you could do with yours. So that was my project 1. I had lots of fun designing them, and I hope you like them. Obviously not the right time of year for them now, but maybe next Christmas it gives you a bit of inspiration. Project 2. The second project that I worked on in December that I wanted to tell you all about was an ebook that I made. So for Christmas 2022, so not last year, the year before, I basically ran a campaign where it was 12 days of Christmas. I released a free crochet pattern every day between the 1st and the 12th of December. I came up with a really good range of easy to make Christmas decorations. They're all crocheted flat, so essentially you make 2 flat pieces and then you crochet around the outside and stuff them partway through. They all look good as a set, or you can do them, you know, just pick one pattern that you like. All of the patterns were made as individual patterns as well. So it was like a pattern a day. Each pattern has a page on my website. So again, free patterns for you to access. But I also make the PDF patterns and sell them in my stores. So Ravelry, Etsy, Ribbler, Lovecrafts. But yes, so I also have the PDFs for sale on those different platforms. And each of them is a separate pattern that you can buy. So you can choose the decoration you want. If you do want to buy a PDF pattern, you don't have to get all 12 and spend a lot of money. But what I did last month was I made them all into an ebook. So, and I heavily discounted it as well, but the price is irrelevant. It's just the point that I put all of these patterns together into my first ever ebook, which I was really proud of, and it looks great. And it is still on my website for sale if you do want to check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. But it was a fun project to work on. It was really time consuming, I have to admit, which meant it took me away from my crochet hook and yarn for a while. I was sat in front of the computer using Canva. It's one of my favourite bits of software. For quite a long time at the beginning of December. So if you want to check that out, the link's below. But that is one of the projects I worked on last month. Project 3. I made a gift for my friend, which involved me not crocheting. I did use yarn, but I used my knitting machine. So I'm going to try and duck down so you can see it behind me. It's over there. I haven't used it much. I got it for Christmas, actually. Not this December, but the December before. And yeah, I used it like once and hadn't used it since. And I've been dying to try and make a woolly hat. So I did. And I made one for my friend. Essentially, this is what it looks like. I am really, really happy with how it turned out, and I absolutely loved using the knitting machine. I will definitely be doing it again. Now, there's a bit of a story behind the yarn that I used for the project. Let me go and get it. So this is it. It's from a place called New Lanark, Spinning Co Scotland. That is the brand of the yarn. But there is a World Heritage site not far from Edinburgh, which is where I live in Scotland, called New Lanark Mill. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this by reading off their website because I am not a pro when it comes to this. New Lanark is a former 18th century cotton spinning mill village located on the banks of the Falls of Clyde, just under 1 hour from Glasgow and Edinburgh. Today, they're recognised as one of Scotland's 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites of outstanding universal value, and they welcome over 3,000 visitors annually to their site. New Lanark has a resident village community of 65 households set within a national nature reserve with outstanding designed landscapes and woodlands. In the village, they have an award-winning visitor centre offering a range of visitor attractions and a fantastic learning and outreach programme, as well as the New Lanark Mill Hotel, Wee Row Hostel, Mill Shop and Cafe. They spin their own traditionally produced organic wool, produce their own hydroelectricity, and make delicious ice cream based on their traditional recipe. Long story short, the person I made the woolly hat for came with me to New Lanark. It was a bit of a day trip outside of Edinburgh. We had lots of fun, but I bought this in their gift shop. So it is wool. It's 100% pure new wool, and it's Aran weight. So that is equivalent to worsted weight yarn. It does feel a little bit scratchy because it's wool. So I will say that and be quite honest. But that colour is stunning. Like, it's got speckles of, I would say, copper and blue almost. There you go. I'm going to try and give you a bit of a close-up of it. As you can see, it says World Land Trust, Aran, 100% pure wool. So even the label says, traditionally spun yarn produced on historic machinery, powered by hydroelectricity, made in Scotland. So it's a unique wool, and yes, I bought 2 balls of wool, which is why I've got this one here to show you. The other one all went into the hat that I made. But it was such a fun project to make, and this was the right weight of yarn to use. The first time I tried using the knitting machine, I think I used a DK yarn, which was the wrong thing to do. I ended up making a really loose scarf. I'll show you a photo of that another day. But yeah, yes, it was very fun. And if you want to check out New Lanark, I will put their website link below as well. It's just a fun historical mill, yarn mill, essentially. But yes, it's worth the trip if you're interested in yarn like me. So the pattern that I used is a free pattern by a fellow YouTuber. Her name is Crystal and her YouTube channel is Yarn Stash with Marching North. I highly recommend checking it out. Here's a photo of the video that I used. I will link to it in the description below, so please do go check that out if you want to make this hat. It was really easy to follow and it turned out really well. And guess what? The hat fit my friend and she liked it. So absolute success. The only difference the only change I made to the pattern that I watched on YouTube was adding a pom-pom. And that was literally, I had some pom-poms, so I just sewed it on to the end of the hat. Project 4, I've got hidden in this bag. It's still a whip, so work in progress if you're not familiar with the acronym. To give you a little bit of backstory before I share all of this, I'm originally from Australia. I went to Australia in August last year to visit my family, which was very, very happy and thankful for, since I hadn't actually seen them since the whole pandemic and COVID and blah, blah, blah. And on that trip, I wanted to go check out some local yarn stores. So I found a yarn store online called the Yarn Bowl, and they are a Brisbane-based yarn shop. It's a really pretty yarn store and it's much bigger than what you would think when you first go in. There's lots of different rooms with different types of yarn. There's even, like, when I went, there were 2 separate rooms for, one was books, one was more yarn, and then they had a big workshop area as well, because I think they do workshops there. If I was in Brisbane, I would be going. But this is their details if you want to check them out. The yarn store is beautiful, so if ever you're in Brisbane, Australia, go check it out. Okay, when I was there, I wanted to treat myself to a particular project. I didn't have anything in mind when I was looking at the shop. I just wanted to get something. Something that I could crochet while I was there and when I came back. What I got was a yarn pack. Actually, I'll show you a photo of it because everything isn't in here. I got a pack. So it came with these lovely skeins of yarn. They were beautiful, as you can see in the photo here. And it came with a pattern. So that I will show you. I've got a printout of it. So it is called the Juniper Cow. It's made, so they're mini skeins of yarn, or skeins, however you pronounce it. I say skeins, so I'm going to stick with that. But anyway, it came with a pack of all different colours. Beautiful, and really good quality as well. They're called Koigu yarns. And the collection is the Arboreal collection. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I'll put the links below anyway if you want to go check them out, because it's beautiful yarn. I mean, I would get it again, absolutely. But anyway, the pattern itself is called the Juniper Cow, and it was designed by Tony at TL Yarn Crafts. So I'm just going to show you that front page again. That's what it's going to hopefully look like. It's really beautiful. I love it, and it's perfect timing because it's freezing in Scotland. But anyway, this is the project I turn to when I'm not crochet designing, when I'm not making amigurumi, when I just want to sit in front of the telly, crochet, and not really think about doing tight stitches or worrying too much about stitch counts and things like that. Stitch counts are really, really important, and don't get them wrong, but I have a method with this one, so I don't have to really think about it as much as I would with certain types of projects like amigurumi. So let me actually show you what I've done. Here it is. So as you can see, it's still attached to a ball of yarn, so I had to wind this yarn. That's something else I'll tell you about as well, actually. But this is the Juniper Cow so far that I've made. So you can see the different, it's like an ombre kind of effect going from light to dark, or just different shades of the blue and the cream. It is stunning. Like, I really, really love this piece. It's such a fun make, and honestly, that yarn feels lovely and it's really nice to work with as well. The colours are just beautiful. I mean, yeah, very, very happy with that find. But that is my work in progress. I only have, I think, 3 balls of yarn left, so it should be finished by the end of this month, or maybe next month. We'll see how we get on. But yeah, I've only got 3 balls of yarn left. I'll show you the other one. So I've got bits of paper in them to remind me what order to crochet them in. But that is, yeah, the other 2 that are left. So it won't take me too long to finish that. And I will show you when I've finished. But I'll link below to the pattern, the yarn shop, and also the yarn itself, because they're all great finds and I'm so happy I got them. Highly recommend it if you want to check those out as well. Definitely no regrets there. And after all that, before I forget, so the thing I wanted to mention about that project 4, when I got those skeins of yarn, the mini skeins of yarn, I haven't actually used skeins before. So I tried manually turning it into a ball, because obviously working from a ball of yarn is a lot easier. If I had have just like pulled the yarn out of the skein, it would have got all tangled and it would have been a nightmare to work with. So I manually like wrapped it up in a ball. Took ages. Everything kept like getting tangled and it was a nightmare. I knew the tools I needed to buy, so I bought them. First came the yarn winder, which looks like this. And second came the umbrella swift, which looks like this. So essentially what you do is you use the 2 things together. I'll do another video on this later. But you put your skein of yarn around the umbrella and then you hook it up to the yarn winder, and it just makes it the process of turning a skein into a ball of yarn so much easier. It was an absolute lifesaver, and that's what it looks like. And it honestly takes maybe like 3 minutes for me to do that, as opposed to however long it took me to do it manually. I think it was half an hour or something. It was ridiculous. But they were 2 buys last year that I was very, very grateful for. And I do have other skeins in my stash actually that I want to use and hopefully will be using this year. But I hadn't used them yet because I didn't have this equipment, but now I do, so I'll be doing more of that. Very excited for it. All right, so that brings me to the end of my month in review for December 2023. I hope you've got some project inspiration or product inspiration out of all of that. Essentially, that is my goal, as I said at the beginning of the video. If you have got an inspiration, please do drop me a comment below and let me know what it is that you're interested in. I'd really love to hear from you. Last but not least, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn that little bell on so you get notified anytime new videos are released. Until next time, happy crocheting!